Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you, and thank you so much for joining us for another one of our live meditations from Healthy Minds Innovations. I'm Richie Davidson, and just a little bit about our organizations. The Center for Healthy Minds at the University of Wisconsin-Madison began about 10 years ago to be the umbrella in which we conduct our research and disseminate information about well-being and how it might be cultivated and measured. Healthy Minds Innovations is an organization that is a nonprofit which takes the insights from the research and turns them into tools that can be used to both measure and to disseminate practices for well-being. I'm very happy to be here today. We began these meditations at the start of the pandemic, and for many of us, there's a sense that this is going on for quite a long time, and it will be going on for the foreseeable future. And so we, I think, can learn to harness the silver linings and the possible benefits that may occur during this challenging time for many of us. So let's begin by perhaps letting us know in the chat box where you're tuning in from, and also how you're feeling right now. Are you feeling unsettled? Are you feeling happy? Give us a word or two to let us know how you might be feeling at this moment. I'm glad to hear that people are tuning in. I hear from one that you're having a hard time hearing. I will try to move a little closer. Maybe this will be better. So please let us know where you're from and give us a word or two about how you might be feeling right at this moment. Anxious. This is really a time of great uncertainty. None of us know how this will all end, and it is, I think, our collective aspiration that whatever the post-COVID world might look like, that it will look different from the pre-COVID world, because the trajectory that we're on is not a particularly healthy one, and this is a global opportunity to do some useful recalibration. People are tuning in from Mexico City, reporting forgiving, excited, feeling settled. Great to see all of you and to hear a little bit about how you might be doing. Colorado. So thank you all for tuning in. Our theme for this week is finding inspiration. And we're going to begin our practice with this. So, and thank you all for continuing to chime in. People are happy to have this opportunity, and emotions ranging from anxious to feeling settled and alert. So it's great to celebrate this capacity to be aware of how we're feeling. So let's begin by gently closing our eyes and sitting in an upright posture with our spines straight but not too tight, not too loose. And let's begin by seeing if we can find an inspiring motivation for joining today and for our practice. And we can begin by recognizing how practices for calming our mind and opening our heart are beneficial not only for ourselves, but for all of those around us. So let's see if we can begin by finding some inspiring motivation for our practice. It might be how we can be showing up more fully for our children, for our spouse, for our coworkers, whatever it might be. Let's spend a few moments leaning into this motivation. And let's take a couple of deep breaths, inhaling deeply. And as we exhale, seeing if we can let go of some of the tension, the expectations, and simply be. And shifting into this mode of being rather than doing. And let's begin now by settling into our bodies, bringing awareness into our bodies. Feeling ourselves grounded. And recognizing that the earth that is the foundation for our sitting today. We may be sitting on a chair or a cushion, which is sitting on a floor, which is part of a structure, and that structure is sitting on the earth. And it is the same earth for all of us, binding us together. And during this time of the pandemic, we have an opportunity to be even more acutely aware of how extraordinarily interdependent we are. The very infectious nature of the virus underscores our interdependence. And the public health recommendations to wear a mask, to be physically distant, also underscore our interdependence. So as we bring awareness into our bodies, let's also appreciate the extraordinary extent to which we are all so deeply interconnected. Let's take a few moments to scan through our bodies and simply be aware of how we are showing up, how that is manifesting in our physical form. And the invitation here is not to change or to fix anything, simply to infuse our bodies with awareness. And to appreciate this very real interdependence in which we are all embedded. The theme, as I mentioned earlier, for this week of our practices is finding inspiration. So let's spend some time together reflecting on persons or activities which are inspiring to us. And let's see if we can find some activity or some person who embodies this quality of benefiting others in some way. It may be very simple. Complimenting another on their good work. It may be expressing our gratitude and appreciation to a spouse who has been very helpful. It may be a delivery person who has helped sustain us during this challenging time. And we may also appreciate the inspiring activities of others who have sacrificed their own health to serve others. So let's reflect on these opportunities for inspiration. And let's reflect on how even the simplest things we do on a regular basis, such as maintain physical distancing during this time, wearing a face mask, washing our hands. All of these are actions which not only benefit ourselves, but benefit others. And let's reflect specifically on how we might more intentionally engage in these actions during our everyday life and infuse them with the inspiring motivation of acting to serve others, acting on behalf of the well-being of others. And reflecting in a very granular way, how can we remind ourselves in our everyday life to infuse these activities with this inspiring motivation to act not only in our self-interest, but also for the benefit of others. Now, as we begin to transition out of this period of formal practice, let us do something that we always do in the tradition in which I practice. We dedicate whatever merit, whatever insight, whatever learning we have gleaned from this short period of practice, and we dedicate it to the welfare of others. And in this particular case of our practice, let's reflect in a specific way how we can harness the qualities that we're nurturing and infuse our everyday activities with these same qualities. recognizing that many of the activities in which we engage are not only for our own benefit, but we do them also for the benefit of others. So for those of you whose eyes have been closed, let's please open them. And let's see if we can retain the same quality of awareness that we've just spent a few minutes cultivating, and allow that to be our new baseline as we re-engage with the world. And if you are so inclined, please use the chat box to say something about how you're feeling right now. Let me remind all of you who may not know, practices such as these are freely available in our app called the Healthy Minds Program, which is available throughout the world, and it is available freely due to the generosity of our donors. You can go to the website tryhealthyminds.org to learn more about this program and this app. And this is something that can help those of you who are just beginning this sort of practice to engage in a daily practice to help nourish the 4 pillars of well-being. So folks are saying that they feel hesitant and thankful, calm and recentered, calm and content. So thank you so much for sharing. And thank you so much for joining us today. And please check out our other meditations on our YouTube live channel. And may you all be safe and healthy and have a good day or good evening wherever you might be. And I look forward to joining you again soon. Thank you so much.